adult nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Views and opinions expressed on the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of alltalkradio.net.
Even the government agrees.
He's a dangerous man!
Niggas is decaf, I stick 'em for the cream.
Hey, yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey, yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another edition of the Dontaes Boxing Nation show. alltalkradio.net, boxingtalk.com, and let's get into it, man. We got a whole lot to talk about. But first things first, let me go ahead and introduce my man in the studio with me right here. My co-host, Mr. Norrin Raddicall, is in the building.
Hey, the enemy of my enemy is my ally.
There you go. My correspondents, or on the phone, I should say, online. My man BoxingEgo, one of the best boxing channels out there. Go check him out. What's going on, BoxingEgo?
Yo,
No doubt.
And my man King Yusef, what up?
what's up, brothers?
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead.
What's going on, bro?
Let's get into it, man. Real good weekend, man. Real good past weekend. Historic weekend. We have an American heavyweight champion, which we haven't had since Shannon Briggs. And really, I like to say we ain't had since Rigondeaux, because that was the real heavyweight champion we had, or the real last American heavyweight champion we
Big
had,
Daddy.
right? Then again, I guess we had Tyson and Holyfield, too.
But
so
can't forget those guys.
You can't forget those guys. So I'm just happy we have an American heavyweight champion. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all of that. But first things first, let's go ahead and start with the undercard. Now, the undercard was nice. This fight right here was the fight of the night, I believe. I think all of us can agree. Amir Imam against Bernardo Maldonado. It was a beast of a fight. 5 knockdowns. Your boy Amir looking good, man. I mean, I like the conservative aggression, because he's relaxed with the power and everything.
Absolutely.
And, he's accurate with his punches. He's using the Philly shell. And, he's going for the knockout. So, I mean, what did you think about his performance, Norrin?
Amir Imam. I guess he's now, well, you got another Amir. Well, Amir Khan's now a full-blown welterweight. But I was just going to say, you got another premier Amir at junior welterweight or super lightweight now, 140. The kid, he looks great. He got some serious dynamite in that right hand. The thing that impressed me so much, besides the way he got off the canvas, he had the advantage in the knockdowns 4-1. Well, he said a total of 5 knockdowns. He got put in the canvas once at the beginning of the third round after he, blasted Maldonado at the end of the second. And, he gets off the canvas. But the thing about that right hand, it's not like you said, the conservative aggression, great term. It's not like he's loading up. You know what I mean? It's not coming from, it's not coming from the Gulf of Mexico. He's just almost touching the guy with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Touching him and then explode. You know what I mean? Then bombardment, like light bulbs is going off in Maldonado's heads just from getting touched by it. So, yeah, that right hand is something. The kid looks good, bright future. It's crazy. It's really crazy because, like you said, he does, he doesn't quite execute, obviously, he doesn't execute the Philly shell the way we're accustomed to seeing Mayweather do it. You know what I mean? It's not, obviously it's a defensive posture, but, with him fighting a southpaw on Maldonado, I was you're almost thinking that maybe you're seeing some type of prelude of a Mayweather-Pacquiao dynamic. You know what I mean? That's just in my my own abstract imagination.
It's a comparison, actually. I didn't even think about that.
It is what it is. I appreciate it, bro. But anyway, though, big up on for Amir Imam. Great fight. A lot of excitement, and yeah, man, every time he touched Maldonado with that straight right hand, Maldonado just his whole body turned to spaghetti. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not let alone his legs. You know what I mean? So we're looking for big things from Mr. Imam.
Yeah, it's like every time he fell down, it looked like he was being knocked out. You know, I mean, usually you see flash knockdowns, like when Imam got knocked down.
The young master.
The young master. It looked like a flash knockdown when Imam got knocked down, but when,
For sure.
when Maldonado got knocked down, like you said, straight spaghetti.
That was the distinction I was making. You know, Imam bounced right up from the canvas, but yeah, Maldonado was in trouble. The young master. Big up to Joe Gans.
No doubt, no
For
doubt.
sure.
So, Ego, I mean, what did you think about his performance? I mean, in the future for him, man. I mean, it was an impressive performance. What did you think, BoxingEgo? Ego.
Yeah.
You there? What you?
Yeah,
you
I
getting out your
hear
car
you.
right now?
What
Huh?
was
Thought he was performing surgery.
No, that's not me.
Somebody performing
Hey,
surgery.
Ego, what did you think about Amir Imam's performance, the 5th round TKO over Fidel Maldonado?
Man, I agree with you and Norrin as well. I thought it was a show-stealing performance.
Yes, sir.
It almost reminded me kind of like that breakout performance, like a Saddam Ali versus a Fregu, where you got a guy who was definitely below the radar, not too many people talking about him, and instantly off that one performance, you could tell he made a lot of fans that
Yes,
night.
sir.
I was really impressed. Like Norrin said, he had some hammer, he had some dynamite in that right hand, and it was vicious. And you got to give credit. I kind of seen how the fight was, how it was playing out. Maldonado, he just seemed too gung-ho and too tough and prideful for his own good. And then you got to give him credit, though, because he did fight back, and with the tough guy, he was able to capitalize to get a knockdown, but he was knocked down in that round, I think, 2 more times in the second round.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he showed heart. It just, you can't, when you got a guy who's staying composed like that and has power, you can't get reckless, and he was allowing Amir to capitalize. But I like the kid's composure. That's one thing I really noticed. He seemed pretty composed. Even after the knockdown, he got right back up, got back to his game plan. So I'm looking forward to his future.
Yeah. I mean, only thing I would really take away from the performance is he got caught with the left a little too many times, as far as I'm concerned. You know, it just he needs to watch out, maybe get some better southpaw sparring partners in the future. But overall, it was a very impressive performance. I mean, what do you think, King Yusef?
For the young master Amir Imam, I watched his last fight, last year on Showbox. He's like very timid, ready to like strike. Doesn't like go in all the way for the kill. He just waits for the opponent to get in. But his performance was amazing. Like, as soon as he got knocked down, like, he was composed, didn't feel the need to just jump in, and then he just broke Fidel down. Like, I can see him, like, becoming a serious threat to, like, any 140-pound contender or champion. And this may sound crazy, but I would love to see him face Terrence Crawford, like in the near future. Those two would
Don't
become,
sound
like,
crazy
great
at
rivals.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Man, I'm telling
Nothing
you.
crazy about that.
The
Except for the
140-pound
action.
division is dangerous.
For sure.
Like you said, you got Amir Imam,
Heating up.
Terrence,
Heating up.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
got
heating up right now.
Terrence Crawford, Danny Garcia, you know, Amir Imam, you got Lamont Peterson about to fight Danny Garcia. Man, it's fire, man. It is fire. So now let's go ahead and talk about the next fight. Your boy Leo Santa Cruz.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he got an 8th round TKO over, you know, the big test, Jesus Ruiz. You know, so you know, I mean, I'm using Leo Santa Cruz's words. It wasn't an impressive performance. You know, that was by Leo's own admission. He didn't like his performance. It didn't look that much of a dominant performance. And, you know, I just think, you know, people are basically getting sick of seeing Leo fight these type of opponents. So what's interesting to me is in the Amir fight, the crowd was going crazy. And, you know, of course, it was the knockdowns and it was all type of drama, right? And then you have Leo Santa Cruz, who's always talking about Rigo or being boring or whatever. The crowd was extremely quiet that whole fight. The crowd was extremely quiet.
How ironic.
It felt like we was in a library, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and I think that really comes down to people being sick of the type of opponents that Leo Santa Cruz is fighting against. But, you know, he got an 8th round TKO And let's go ahead and get to the bigger news, okay? Now, this is the big news. This is the breaking news. Leo Santa Cruz has finally agreed to fight against your boy, Guillermo Rigo. But guess how much he wants to get in the ring with Guillermo Rigo. My man George, producer in the studio right here, he's going to go ahead and play this clip. I'm going to let you guys hear this clip, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about what Leo said. This is an interview that I did with Leo Santa Cruz right after the fight. So go ahead and hit him with it, George.
Now, just for the future now, now you told me media workout that you wanted Guillermo Rigo next, but then you said you also wanted Abner Mares next. So who would you prefer? Oh, actually, Guillermo Rigo, he also said that he was going to come out here. I know you might have heard of that.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come out here, and they said they were going to offer you like $1 million to take the fight. So, I mean, what do you think? If he offered you $1 million to take that fight, would you take fight against Guillermo Rigo next?
No, I don't think that's not much money, I think.
You said that's not enough?
I think.
$2 million? $2 million? Hey, throw a bid in there. Throw a bid in there.
No, probably $3 million.
$3 million?
Yeah, we go after him, but I want to fight him because of the fans, but the better fight is going to be against Abner Mares.
Okay, thanks for your time. Congratulations, champ.
All right. We
Oh,
good?
shit.
We good, George? You guys heard it. So, Ego, I got to start with you on this one, man. So, your boy wants $3 million to get in the ring with Guillermo Rigo. First thing I want to ask you, Ego, is how much did Donaire make when he fought against Rigo?
All right, Dante. So y'all going to have to get like a parental advisory because I'm going to speak my mind.
Oh, shit.
Warning,
Like,
baby.
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna hold back. So
No
Donaire,
holes barred.
in his fight with Rigondeaux, made about $1.34 million to fight Rigondeaux. Keep in mind, Donaire was undefeated. Well, he wasn't undefeated, but he hadn't lost in 11 years. He was previously, the year before, he was Fighter of the Year, fought 4 times, defended 4 times. He had like a knockdown, and I think all of those fights were stoppage. The better resume, I guess you could say, Montiel, Darchinian, etc. And he barely got over $1 million. You know what I mean? He got the low side of $1 million. So for Leo Santa Cruz asking for $3 million, it's pricing himself out. And I've been around boxing long enough to know pricing yourself out is another form of dust and avoiding. Because if you have like a ridiculous demand that you know is not going to be met, then that's the same as not wanting to fight. And to my knowledge, somebody at home, here's the thing, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't even think Leo Santa Cruz is the top $1 million in any of his fights. I don't think he's had a purse like that. So where's $3 million coming from? That's more than Canelo got versus Laura base salary.
Wow. That's big. And another thing, too, is Leo, you know, to me, he's putting his foot in his mouth again, or he's sticking his foot in his mouth again, because now when you fight against your next opponent and you don't get $3 million, how does that make you look? Because that means you took way less than $3 million to fight someone else, but you need $3 million to fight against Guillermo Rigo. So that alone right there is going to make, you know, him look very hypocritical, you know, so what's that? Okay, I thought somebody else was talking.
Who's that, the champ? Oh.
Anyway, the champ there? Is the champ there?
What the question is? Bomb squad. Oh.
Anyway.
Moving on.
So, yeah, man.
Leo,
We're just
Leo.
trying to see.
Leo.
The champ said, never mind, forget it.
Exactly.
Yeah, forget it.
Leo.
Go ahead. So anyway, so King Yusef, man. So I mean, you know, first of all, let me just say this, Norrin. Let me start with Norrin.
What it do?
Norrin, I remember when we was growing up, man, as kids.
Shit.
My older cousins, uncles, they used to always say.
Back in the day.
What memory lane.
For sure.
They used to always say, man, I get in the ring and fight Mike Tyson. Man, you give me $1 million, he can knock the shit out of me. You remember that, George? Even George, he know that. We used to all say that,
Let him
right?
hit me one time.
Yeah.
Let him hit me just one time.
Yeah. You can hit me, and as soon as I wake up, I'm going straight to the bank, cashing the check, and boy, we about to do it. We going to Disneyland and all. We gonna buy Disneyland, matter of fact. You know. So it's like that's what Leo Santa Cruz sound like, right, Norrin?
Hey, listen, this is and I don't know, for some odd reason, I missed Leo's fight. I don't know how I ended up missing it, but I don't know. I just missed Leo's fight the night on the fight night, Saturday night. Anyway, here's what I suggest. Rock boys in the building tonight. Hey, hopefully, Mr. Carter, Mr. Jigger Carter. Hopefully, Rock Sports Nation. Hopefully they sign Rigo. I mean, they'll have a hell of a stable. Andre Ward, Guillermo Rigondeaux, Brian Jennings, who has some big things ahead of him in the heavyweight division, which is now hot again all of a sudden. If Rock Nation and Jay-Z, if they do sign Rigo, I suggest he hangs out in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Place I'm extremely familiar with. Hang out with my man Shannon Briggs. Big up to Shannon Briggs. And and take a page out of the Shannon Briggs book and slap Leo.
Jump on the speedboat.
Slap him with a shoe.
Start hitting his ass with some waves on the speedboat. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Interrupt a few dinners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Slap him in the face with a shoe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Harass him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do it Brooklyn style. Nah, seriously. I mean, that's, Leo's going to, pardon me, Guillermo's going to have to put the pressure on any of these guys, Leo, Frampton, Quigg, any of these guys to step in the ring with him because obviously, saying that they're reluctant is an understatement at this point. You know what I mean? Like you said, you got a guy, Ego just laid out, the accolades of Donaire. You know what I mean? And you're talking about a guy that was considered by most to be a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. You know what I mean? And, we've seen what he made and, he got in the ring and it was what it was. You know what I mean? So, I don't even know how serious Leo. I don't even know if Leo even understood what the fuck he was talking about in the interview. And that's based on his. That's based on his answer. Yeah. That's based on his answer. Like, was he being facetious? I don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's absurdity. You know what I mean? These guys just need to get off the bullshit. And like I said before, admit that they don't want to fight the guy.
That's it.
And at least give the guy his props.
Yeah, at least
give the guy his props. Like you said, you want $3 million to fight this boring-ass fighter, you know what I mean, that nobody wants to see, but you want to make $3 million fighting him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at least give the guy his props. Say that he's a top-notch, top-tier professional fighter in the game, one of the best in the sport of boxing today. Say it's going to be a difficult fight. You know what I mean? Say, it's a fight that's going to take time to be made, but, when you're trying to blow it off nonchalantly, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy's not even worth my time, but, of course, I need $3 million to step in the ring with him. You know what I mean? It's very distasteful.
Absolutely. And
I agree with – I was going to say I agree with both of you guys, and I think what you said, Dante, you hit the nail on the head. It's your next move. You can't – not only can you not say these things about a former Olympian and a champion in your division, it's what you do next. You can't be like, oh, Rigondeaux is a boring fight, but I'm going to fight Jesus Ruiz. Yeah. Like, that doesn't make
a fight that I didn't see, by the way.
Yeah, which we understand.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I was about to get real sarcastic. Like, you missed the fight of the night. No,
And the other thing is, I'm wondering where have we gotten boxing where you got a guy who's literally breathing down your throat? Rigondeaux actually made it out to Vegas, and I guess he had to leave because he was ill, so he flew back to Miami. So he was going to challenge him face-to-face, and it's like where we been boxing where I was very disappointed with Leo's call-out after the fight. He just ran through some names. I want Rio, Frampton, Quigg, and that was it. I want to hear a video. Yeah, he just ran through it real. It wasn't an official call-out.
No, it wasn't.
I've heard.
It's like a WWE script or something.
It was scripted exactly, King Yusef. I was just about to. It's been scripted since day one. I remember when I was interviewing Leo Santa Cruz out in Carson at the StubHub. He was saying the same thing. He was like, I want to fight Guillermo Rigo because people keep saying I'm afraid of him. He keeps saying that over and over. Another thing, guys, about the $3 million is if you notice, he said probably $3 million. You know what I mean? So you could take that many different ways. it could mean that might not even be enough money to get in the ring with him, right? Or it could just be a bid, him trying to get something close to it. And then Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., the great, Mexican, the real Mexican warrior, he did an interview. Matter of fact, this is not the first time he said this, but he said in an interview, because matter of fact, this has been surfacing everywhere, this $3 million. And they asked Chavez, they said, did you hear about the news? Leo said he'll fight Guillermo Rigo for $3 million. And Chavez's response was, look, man, that guy does not need to be in the ring with Guillermo Rigo. He should never get in the ring with Guillermo Rigo. He has no business being in the ring with Guillermo Rigo. He needs to stay as far away as he can from that guy, Guillermo Rigo, because the fight would not go 12 rounds. This is what Julio Cesar Chavez said about Leo Santa Cruz, okay? So I would love to ask Leo Santa Cruz's father, what do you think about what, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. said? So I mean, we know what time it is. Like Ego was telling me, a lot of videos, or I think it was Ego, but a lot of videos that Leo's doing right now where he's making excuses. There are a lot of dislikes on those videos, so the fans are starting to, they're starting to grow old when it comes, or get sick of, the excuses. It's getting to the point where even Leo Santa Cruz fans, they want to see this man step up and fight against Rigo. And if not Rigo, at least one of these guys. But that's the guy at the top. That's the guy at the top. If you claim you're the best. And this is another thing. With Abner Mares, let's be honest. I mean, he just came off. He got, knocked out, 2 fights ago? He's not considered pound for pound top 10. So why wouldn't you just go straight to the top if you believe that you're the best? Go ahead, guys.
And one thing I want to...
Go ahead, King Yusef. Let Yusef say something real quick.
Okay. The funny thing is, for Santa Cruz, it's a proxy. Like, I was watching the post-fight interview when you asked him when you're going to fight Rigo and stuff. And then as soon as that question was uttered, like, Golden Boy matchmaker Robert Diaz said, we need time to make those fights, the Craig, the Framptons. And he didn't even mention Rigo, one time. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny, when you have, promoters protecting you and stuff. The funny thing is that Canelo was forced to, take that fight because Lara was hunting him down. He came up to him face-to-face, mano a mano. Back in the day, Eric Morales versus Marco Antonio Barrera. Those guys had, pride and stuff. Pride was considered greater than money. If you call me up, I'll fight you. Anywhere, anytime.
Absolutely.
That was considered Mexican pride. But nowadays, we have so-called champions saying that, we need time to make this fight, or he's a boring fighter. All kinds of excuses that don't even make sense.
That don't even make sense.
The amount of post-fight, the amount of post-fight interviews that Santa Cruz is doing was reading a script and stuff. And his dad is his dad's a joke. I can't even take him serious anymore.
No.
He said, we need to fight Mares and stuff. Abner Mares has not even looked decent since fighting the Puerto Rican journeyman Oquendo and facing Jose Ramirez. Mares still has to prove himself. And now what's going on is Johnny Gonzalez has signed a 3-fight deal with Al Heyman to fight either Gary Russell Jr. or Abner Mares next. So we'll see what happens next. But the funny thing is that journeyman Ruiz was actually fighting back and stuff. He came to fight.
Oh yeah, it was a competitive fight.
Santa Cruz wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, it was a competitive fight, and Chavez also said at least if Leo fights against Mares, he has a chance. But he said he has no chance against Leo. This is Julio Cesar Chavez saying this.
Against Rigondeaux, you mean?
Yeah, my bad, against Rigondeaux. But he has no chance against Guillermo Rigo. But he would have a chance against Mares. Just clarification. So go ahead, Ego. Ego?
Yeah.
What
I was going to say. I was going to say a couple things. One, it just only in boxing do you get this type of stuff. No other professional sports do you really get this because they have governing bodies and stuff like that. That's the equivalent to me of the New England Patriots in football saying, you know what, I don't want to fight the Seahawks. I don't want to play the Seahawks. I want to play the Niners. And, I'm the Bay Area, so that's my team. Yeah. But that's like them opting out of the Seahawks game because they want to pursue the Niners game. Doesn't make sense. If you guys are the top-rated teams, or in boxing, you're the top-rated fighters, why don't you fight each other? You know what I mean? Why are you going down the totem pole to Abner Mares, who was once undefeated, but he's not any longer? He's on the comeback trail, switching trainers.
Yep.
So I don't understand that. And then my last piece of advice for every boxer, it's not just Leo Santa Cruz, is this. At the very least, if you don't want to fight the man, like Norrin said, just be honest. I think honesty is the best policy. Just say, nah, we're trying to build up to that, instead of like fighting sparring partners and bad-mouthing Rigo. And then the last thing is make sure your whole team is in unison with what you're saying. You can't have Leo Santa Cruz saying, oh, I want to fight Rigondeaux next, and his dad saying the polar opposite, because now somebody has to be not telling the truth. So it makes the fighter look bad when you have within the same camp differences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the fighter is going to get the majority of the credit when he wins, and he's going to get the majority of the credit when he loses, or he's going to get blamed when he loses, either him or the trainer. So right now, no matter what happens, he's the one that's looking bad. His father is making him look bad, or the promoters, whoever you want to blame, they're making Leo look bad. But Leo is the main person who's speaking up and saying this stuff. So he's the main mouthpiece right now. You know, first he said that, if I lose my title, I hope I lose to a Mexican. That's what he said. Then he said that his father doesn't like that fight against Guillermo Rigo. Now he's saying he wants $3 million to fight Guillermo Rigo. It's something different every single day. And like Norrin was saying, yes, if he would just be honest and just come out and say, look, man, the guy is good. The guy is really damn good. And I probably won't beat him. Maybe I should, take a couple more fights so I could gain more experience, and then that fight will be big. But right now,
he doesn't even have to say, pardon me, he doesn't even have to say, maybe I won't beat the guy. Just give the guy his props.
Just give him his props.
Brooklyn,
just give him his props.
Shannon Briggs.
Yeah. Just give him his props.
Smack him with a shoe.
And that reminds me of Naseem Hamed. Haseem never said I would lose to Mayweather, but he would always praise Mayweather, which you could read between the lines.
For sure, exactly.
He would always praise him, So anyway,
precisely.
That's pretty much what it is. We'll see what happens. I mean, these fighters claim they want to be the best. I mean, who is he going to fight? Who is Leo going to fight to catapult or propel his career to the top 5, top 10? Because he ain't even top 10 pound for pound. So I don't even think he could beat Abner Mares, to be honest with you. So we'll see. I pretty much agree with a lot of what Mr. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. said.
Yes,
all right, so let's move on. Let's go straight to the main event, man. The main event. Bomb Squad. I beat you to it.
Ain't that Flavor Flav?
Oh
okay.
Man,
Flavor Flav's old crew.
That's what you said. Yeah, it was Flavor Flav's old crew.
I guarantee.
Bomb Squad is back. They made a comeback.
What the question is now?
So basically, Deontay Wilder has won the heavyweight title.
Nice.
And you know what? Let me go ahead and just break this down. Like I said, I picked Bermain to win this fight. A lot of times when you're basing, when you're doing predictions, you're basing the stuff off of previous, fights. And I can tell you right now, I had never seen Deontay Wilder look so complete. He was a complete fighter against Berman Stavern. I mean, usually I'll see him kind of pawn with the jab, and he'll be throwing the right hand. It seems like before he would only rely on really landing that right hand. He didn't really look very comfortable on the inside. At least that's how it looked before. But in this fight, everything came together. He was throwing a jab like Lennox Lewis. He was taking punches, and I seen him throwing little uppercut, hook combinations. He was doing a little bit of everything. On top of that, he never got tired. He never gassed out. He didn't need a second win because I believe in the 7th round or the 5th round, because he hurt Berman a couple times. But he hurt him in one of those rounds, and I believe Deontay Wilder, he threw damn near 100 punches trying to knock out Berman, right? So I figured after that, Deontay would be tired. He would be gassed, but he never got gassed. He still fought like it was the first round. So not only does this man have the ability to to sustain his stamina and everything, but the man has the skills. He has a skill set, and he's getting better and better. He's starting to fight like a tall man, and even like a taller fighter would reach and so on and so forth. Even though he was getting low, and he didn't have to, but he was getting low with Berman, and Berman still couldn't hit him. So, you know, overall, man, it was a great performance, and I didn't give Deontay Wilder a chance against Vladimir Klitschko before this fight, but now I do. Now I give him a 50-50 chance against Vladimir Klitschko. So what do you think about the Bomb Squad and the new heavyweight champion of the world, Norrin?
No doubt. The Bronze Bomber. Yeah, it's a good look. All right, let's talk about the fight. Yeah, he came out. He definitely impressed. He impressed because, like you said, we seen him do things that we just didn't see in the repertoire previously. You know, with the 4-round consecutive streak. You know, 32 straight. No, but not even going past 4 rounds. So, who was to expect? You know, but honestly, I had the feeling that this fight was going to go into the championship rounds. I was leaning towards Bermain also. I was leaning towards Bermain to, you know, pull something out and maybe get Deontay out of there in those later rounds. But I didn't see it being a short night because both guys were very determined. You know what I mean? Both guys wanted it. The problem was, and of course, as I always say, always qualify what I say, is never taking nothing away from the winner. Deontay Wilder put on, a superb performance. I was thoroughly impressed. Like you said, the guy has a whole bunch of tools in his toolbox. He brought them all out and he executed them with great precision. You know what I mean? And obviously we see the result. And big ups to the new WBC heavyweight champion, Bomb Squad. You know what I mean?
There it goes.
But there's certain things that Bermain didn't do that I was also surprised about. You know what I mean? Yeah, to me, it's almost like unintentionally he was almost doing a Brandon Rios impersonation. He was coming straight in, squared up, no head movement, no jab, not jabbing his way in, and taking shots. You know what I mean? All to land his one big shot. You know, and it's almost like, you know, a guy believes, we spoke with Bermain, we spoke with Don House, and it's almost like they believe, it was almost like that in a sense, like I was saying before, almost like the Algieri syndrome, where you believe something so much that you don't make the adjustment. You don't make the necessary adjustment because you believe in that plan of attack so much that eventually, somewhere down the line, it's going to pay off. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, unfortunately, that's a little bit antithetical to what boxing is about, because we know that boxing is about adjustments. You know what I mean? You got to be able to adjust during the course of combat. So, being that Deontay was unwilling to deviate from what they set forth in their game plan, which was, you're going to catch him with this big shot, let him tire himself out, put the pressure on him, he's going to fold under the pressure, and then that's when you're going to take over and you're going to catch him and get him up out of there. Yeah. And because Deontay was beholden to that, that ideology, you know what I mean? That kind of like was his downfall. You know what I mean? Again, taking nothing away from Deontay, but Bermain could have did a lot more to at least make the fight. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? To close the gap. You know what I'm saying? To cause a little bit more suspense, and make it a better showing for himself. You know what I mean? Which is the things I expected him to do. Which is, again, why I was actually leaning towards Bermain as well. You know what I mean? But I expected him to do those things that he didn't do.
Yeah. He definitely looked like he had no plan B. I mean, it was either, I'm going to give you my best, either this is going to work or it's not going to work. And that's basically what it looked like. No, you can't do that. Yeah. And I question
A through Z.
And I really question or wonder why it is certain fighters, they don't cut off the ring when they can. Like same thing with Devin Alexander against Amir Khan.
Follow him around.
Yeah, follow him around. I think sometimes they're actually worried about cutting him off and being forced to be, more active, throw more punches, or even maybe they feel that when they cut off the ring, they're putting themselves in harm's way. Right. To where now you're forcing that guy.
You don't want to force the confrontation.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. That's the best way to put it. Forcing the confrontation. So maybe he didn't want to do that. And that's how I see it, because there's really no reason. He could have easily cut the ring off, But like I said, another reason I give Deontay Wilder so much credit is because he had an answer for every single thing that Bermain threw at him. You know, every punch he threw, even if it came close to landing, you know, Deontay Wilder would come back right away. You know, a lot of these boxers, they get caught with a good shot, and then they move around for a good minute, think about it, and then they come back. Deontay, he wants payback right away. So I like that when it comes to Deontay, and we're going to see some very exciting fights in the future when it comes to Deontay Wilder. So so tell me, Ego. So what did you think? How would you grade Deontay Wilder's performance? And was it all Deontay, or was it just not enough of Bermain? What do you think, Ego?
I actually predicted Deontay Wilder to win. I did think it would end via stoppage. I didn't think it would go 12 rounds. It reminded me of Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, another fight. I just couldn't, with that much firepower, I couldn't picture it going the distance. Yeah. So I did predict Deontay Wilder, but I thought it would be either KO or TKO stoppage. A lot of people on my channel, they're making excuses like, oh, like Deontay Wilder's this and that. You got to give credit where credit's due. He looked good.
Absolutely.
A lot of people said he had chicken legs. He was going to get knocked out in the first round, the third round, different things like that, and he showed up. I do think, just like you and Norrin, I do think there's things, looking back in hindsight, you can grade and tell what could have been done, but it's just a matter of what's in front of you and not doing it and making those adjustments like you said. The only thing I really disagree with you on, Dante, is I think Deontay Wilder was starting to fatigue in the second half a little bit, but he was so far up, and Stavern just couldn't get a rhythm, couldn't get anything going, so he was able to just keep winning and keep winning the rounds convincingly. But I think he started to fatigue a bit in the second half.
Who do you think was more fatigued?
Exactly.
Who do you think was more?
I would say Stavern, because he took the heavier shots. He was like Norrin said, he was just eating shots. Okay, I got to give Stavern mad props. This dude has a man-style chin. His chin is literally ridiculous. Like,
he got a Tyson chin.
You know what I'm saying? His chin is like unbelievable. He took some, even the one where he tackled him.
Yeah,
he ate a lot of those shots.
He was hurt.
He was definitely hurt, but the way he absorbed a lot of those shots, Deontay was standing in front of him at one. I don't remember what round, and he bombed on him with the right. That's his money punch.
Caught him. Perfect.
Stavern staggered. He staggered, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? That would have annihilated most people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I give a lot of credit. Stavern, for me, his biggest thing, I think his best friend would have been to watch vintage Mike Tyson. Now I know there's only one Mike Tyson, so I'm not saying he can emulate everything Tyson did, but he could have taken little things out of Tyson's playbook.
Bob and weave, baby.
Head movement, cutting off the ring, and it would have been a lot better for him. Jabbing, like you said, he didn't do those things. As a short man, you can't. If a dude's 6'8", 6'7", with that type of wingspan, you can't just walk to him and not do. You know what I mean? You got to duck your head. He was just taking too many shots. And I think he has a good poker face and a crazy chin, and he felt that power, so he was just kind of discouraged. And he never did anything consistently, in my opinion. Like, he would jab, and then it would stop. Yeah. Or he would do this. He went to the body. I actually wish both fighters went to the body more, especially Deontay Wilder. He might have been able to produce a stoppage. But for me, the biggest thing is Stavern. I never really seen him get into a rhythm of doing anything consistently. Like, he jabbed, and then he stopped. He you know what I'm saying? He might cut off the ring, and then he stopped. So it was a good performance by Wilder. And he proved a lot of people wrong.
Oh, a whole lot of people wrong.
What the question is now.
And see, this is my whole thing. Like I said, when it comes to Stavern, we talked about this last week. In a way, I lean towards Berman, but I said that what I was worried about when it comes to Berman is he is so conservative. The fact that he will sit on the ropes every now and then, with this passive type, style like he did against Chris Arreola. I said, if we get the Berman who fought against Chris Arreola, then Deontay Wilder is most likely going to knock him out. You can't sit around waiting and fight against Deontay Wilder. I was under the impression, especially when I talked to Don House, I was under the impression that they were going to put Mike Tyson pressure on Deontay Wilder, Amir Mansour pressure on Deontay Wilder. But that's not what they did. And in the later half of the fight, he did start to sit on the ropes, Bermain did. He did start to sit on the ropes like he was fighting against Chris Arreola. And as I was watching the fight, I was telling the media cats that was next to me, I was like, now, see, this is exactly what I was worried about. Why is this man sitting on the ropes, You got this 6'7" man with this reach advantage who's bombing you all night with this right hand and his jab, and you're going to sit on the ropes and try to do the rope-a-dope? You are not the tall fighter. You're not the one with the reach, you know? So that's, you know, unfortunately, I was, you know, possibly right that would happen, at least that was a possibility that would take place, and that's pretty much what took place, you know? So real quick, King Yusef, how was his performance, and what do you think about him fighting against possibly Tyson Fury or Klitschko next, Yusef?
For the bomber, he proved the doubters wrong. Like the most important thing about like a heavyweight is you have to have a crisp jab. Like as Larry Holmes said, like the jab sets up everything. And I was surprised when Wilder just went in, like he just jumped in and then just launched the jab straight, and then he was trying to set up with the right hand. But props to props, like he fought the excellent game plan. What happened was, like, after 2 days, something broke out. Like Wilder had an injured eye, kind of from working out. Yeah. And also he broke his hand like in the fourth round. Man, that fourth round was like Stavern was hurt. Like he just went in to just survive, because like he got like dazed. Yeah. But Wilder proved the doubters wrong. I would like for him to at least develop his inside game, throw a bit more combinations, and the most important thing, he's a tall, rangy fighter. He has to improve on his balance, because during the middle course of the fight, Stavern caught him with a left hook, and he got dazed with it. I thought Stavern was gonna warm up and light it up, but I can see him fighting
Yeah, and we got, and just letting you guys know, we got 7 minutes left, so we're gonna fast forward real quick. I just want to talk about the topic of the century right now, since we only have a couple minutes left. Now everybody keeps sending me messages asking me, of the century, okay? Everyone keeps sending me, or I shouldn't say everyone. Certain fans, they keep saying, Dante, why is it taking Floyd Mayweather so long to sign a contract? Manny Pacquiao, he didn't already sign the contract, so on and so forth, which we really don't even know if he actually signed the contract. We just know that Bob Arum said he agreed to all terms. But they keep asking the question. I just dropped the video today about it. So let's start with you real quick, Norrin. Everybody keep asking this question. Why is your boy taking so long to sign a contract?
First of all, if Pacquiao signed the contract, I'm sure Bob would have Instagrammed it to make
That's a good point.
to make Floyd look bad. Second of all, Mayweather. Okay, we can. Machiavelli Mayweather. He's a man of suspense. He likes to keep the fans in suspense. He was scared to fight Shane Mosley after Shane destroyed Margarito. He was so scared to fight him, and then when Shane jumped in the ring after the Marquez fight and challenged him, and the fight fell apart with Shane and Berto, and the original negotiations fell apart because of random blood testing with Pacquiao and Mayweather. They agreed to fight. Mosley and Mayweather agreed to fight, but of course Floyd didn't sign the contract until I don't know, so many weeks later. And everybody was in the uproar. Oh, he's scared of Mosley. Of course, everybody knows that. I'm being sarcastic just in case y'all don't know. He's scared of Mosley. Why he ain't signed the contract? He's looking for an excuse. He's about to get injured. He's about to come out with something to get out of the fight. Lo and behold, he signs the contract. The fight's made. The fight happens, and the rest is history. This is what Floyd does. If the fight is going to happen, the announcement will be made soon. The contracts will be signed. Again, if all terms are agreed upon and the fight's going to happen, Floyd won't be the one making excuses not to push forward. I mean, he's done this before. This is what I'm saying. Motherfuckers, pay attention to history.
Pay attention.
Pardon my French profanity. Pay attention to history. This is the guy has established a pattern of doing this.
He did this with Guerrero. He did this with Victor Ortiz.
Thank you.
They were saying he was scared to sign a contract for Guerrero because he took a long time in the Guerrero, right, Ego?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
True
so
indeed.
so the whole thing. Look, this is the whole thing. Like I said, like my man Norrin said, this is nothing new, guys. Floyd Mayweather always does this. And when you give someone terms or when you demand terms, you know, of course you're going to give them the contract. You're going to say, look, we're going to fight on this date. You're going to get this amount of money, so on and so forth. So what do? You hand them the contract so that they can say, okay, I agree to everything you say. Okay, I agree to everything, all your terms, everything that you're saying, right? So it's not a surprise, even if Manny Pacquiao does sign the contract first, he's supposed to sign the contract first. Why would the A side sign the contract first? That doesn't make any sense. What is he signing the contract to? To what terms? You see what I'm saying? So
and if Pacquiao did sign the contract, goddamn, it's about time.
Yeah. If he did sign a contract,
6 years.
Real quick, go ahead, Yusef. We got like 2 minutes left.
Which he didn't.
Like, kind of sources are saying that the fight will be announced at the Super Bowl time.
You already know.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Like have
of course.
show to like draw more like worldwide attention. And the craziest thing is that people are saying like, oh, Floyd's not signing it. Like, he's scared to fight Pacquiao. Oh, he hasn't signed a contract. It was like, there's one thing left. It's the networks. They have to come to an agreement.
Yeah. They also talking about who's going to get to replay the fight.
Hey, who's going to upstage the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
What other way would it be to announce the fight of the century? To upstage the Super Bowl?
Exactly.
I mean, come on, these guys. They know what they're doing.
Ego, go ahead, Ego, real quick. Do you think that's what's going to happen? That it's going to be announced the Super Bowl? Or what?
Yeah, I mean, Floyd likes to make a grand entrance. He does whatever he does. He says he's his own boss, and that's it. I wouldn't be surprised, literally, if Floyd Mayweather does all this, creates this big frenzy, and it goes to the Clippers game and relaxes. Like, haha, I got these motherfuckers talking about it.
You think?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're not gonna bulldog Floyd Mayweather. He knows his position. He earned his position. And Canelo, he was like, "Oh, I'm taking Austin Trout off if you don't sign to fight me before you fight Robert Guerrero." Floyd didn't do it. Canelo went on, and people were like, "Oh, he'll never fight Canelo. He'll never fight Canelo. He's scared. That's why he didn't want to sign it." No, he had a fight in front of him, and he chose not to sign it before dealing with Robert Guerrero. Dealt with Robert Guerrero, signed the fight. So people were getting pre-mad, like they don't know the established patterns.
Absolutely. Well said, man. Well said. And this is why I don't understand, real quick, we're about to wrap it up, but Manny Pacquiao, I don't understand why Manny Pacquiao keeps coming out with these tweets. Manny Pacquiao knows what's going on. He knows what's going on in negotiations. So why are you just throwing this red meat out to the base just to get them to keep talking shit about Floyd Mayweather? Manny Pacquiao know exactly what's going on.
Aaron's been doing it 6 years. I mean, that's been the game plan all along, is to discredit and malign Mayweather's name in the media. Because apparently they're going to have a problem beating him in the ring. So at least beat him in the ring, in public opinion, the ring of public opinion. You already know.
Absolutely. That's what it is, guys. So we are out of time, and we will see you next week again. So shouts out to my boys online, BoxingEgo, King Yusef, and in the studio, my man Norrin Raddicall.
Hey, a wise man can play a fool, but the fool can never play a wise man.
That's what it is, y'all. We will see you guys next week. You want to watch this show live? Tune in, alltalkradio.net, 4:05 Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday. We on to the next one.
DCast, fuck your life. Bomb Squad!